Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to take an enormous, detail-rich journey through the history, design, minting, varieties, errors, market values, and collector appeal of the Washington quarter dollar, a coin that began as a commemorative for George Washington and grew into one of the most enduring and widely collected United States coins, a piece that has circulated in pockets, piggy banks, and cash drawers across generations, while also producing some of the most fascinating numismatic stories and record-setting auction results. To understand the full scope of the Washington quarter, we start with its origin and design story, because the quarter as we know it was introduced as a celebration of the bicentennial of George Washington's birth, and though it began with the intention of being a single commemorative issue, its portrait of Washington, originally sculpted by John Flanagan, proved so popular that it became the permanent obverse design, a profile bust of the first president that has been subtly modified over the decades but has remained the central icon of the denomination, while the original reverse showed an eagle with wings spread, perched on a bundle of arrows framed by olive branches, imagery chosen to express both strength and peace. Technically, the classic Washington quarter of early years was struck in 90% silver and 10% copper, giving the pre-1965 examples intrinsic bullion value in addition to numismatic interest, and with a diameter of roughly 24.3 millimeters and a weight around 6.25 grams during the silver era. These coins were substantial little pieces of metal whose silver content made them tangible stores of value. That composition would change in the mid-1960s when rising silver prices and coin hoarding forced the mint to switch to a copper-nickel clad composition with a pure copper core and outer layers of cupronickel, reducing the silver exposure yet keeping the size very familiar to the public and allowing minting to continue at scale. Looking at minting history, the first year of issue produced some of the series' most important key dates with very low mintages at Denver and San Francisco that collectors now prize, and across the decades the quarter has been produced at Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, and in later programs West Point and others, with each mint mark and facility producing coins whose survival rates, strike quality, and population in certified grades vary widely. These production differences create the foundation for many collecting strategies, from chasing low mintage key dates to targeting the finest graded examples for registry sets. The Washington quarter has also served as a flexible canvas for commemorative and thematic programs that dramatically expanded its appeal. Notably the bicentennial reverse redesign that celebrated the nation's 200th anniversary with a colonial drummer and dual dates, the 50-state quarters program that issued 5 new state-themed reverses per year and pulled millions of casual savers and children into the hobby, the District of Columbia and U.S. Territories releases, and the America the Beautiful Quarter series that honored national parks and sites. Each program created short-term collector mania as well as long-term interest because many of the designs resonated with regional pride or national heritage, and because some of the state and park designs had comparatively low mintages or were released in special formats. Certain entries quickly became modern keys. For example, varieties in the state quarters such as the extra leaf on the Wisconsin 2004 design or die-break varieties in other states have achieved strong secondary market prices, showing that even new designs can generate collectible rarities. Errors and varieties are another major reason collectors remain captivated by the Washington quarter series, since the high-volume minting process occasionally produces spectacular mistakes. Off-center strikes, double dies, where design elements are visibly doubled due to die issues, repunched mint marks, die cracks, cut varieties, and even wrong planchet strikes, coins struck on the wrong metal blank, have all been documented, and such errors frequently command premiums because they are unique departures from the mass-produced norm. Transitional errors during the composition changeover from silver to clad are particularly interesting. Occasionally, mint mix-ups struck clad planchets on silver blanks or vice versa, and these transitional oddities are sought after by specialists who appreciate both their rarity and their story. Moving to collector grading and certification, the role of grading services like PCGS and NGC cannot be overstated. The numerical scale from 60 to 70 for mint state coins provides a standardized way to compare condition, and the presence of a high grade such as MS65, MS66, MS67 or above on a key date Washington quarter can raise its market value by orders of magnitude compared with raw or circulated examples, as registry set collectors chase the finest known survivors and will pay premiums to secure top spots, and this certification-driven market has helped modern quarters achieve auction results that would have been unimaginable a generation ago. Now, placed appropriately in the middle of our discussion about history and rarity, we should pause to note a headline-grabbing auction result that underscores just how valuable a Washington quarter can be in exceptional condition. One of the highest recorded auction prices for a Washington quarter was realized for a superb 1932 D graded at a top mint state level, selling for well into the 6 figures. a figure reported in the numismatic press and among auction houses that demonstrates the dramatic premiums tied to key dates in superb condition. And that auction outcome is a powerful reminder that even a humble 25-cent coin can become a major collectible. When rarity, condition, and collector demand converge, after acknowledging that headline auction, we return to the many layers that create value in this series. Scarcity driven by low mintage or poor survival rates in high grade, historical importance tied to early or transitional issues, aesthetic appeal and motif relevance in commemorative programs, and the sheer thrill of finding errors and varieties. For collectors, strategies vary enormously. Some build an all-dates, all-mint set of silver Washington quarters, focusing on pre-1965 silver pieces and seeking to own representative examples from each mint and year. Others pursue high-grade singles for registry competition, while a lively community of modern-era collectors watches rolls and mint bags for the unusual flaws that slip into circulation. The market for Washington quarters also reflects broader economic and cultural dynamics. When silver prices climbed, hoarding of silver coins spiked, which made certain dates scarce in the marketplace and raised premiums for collectors. And in modern times, anniversary issues and special mint products like proof sets, satin finish issues, and silver proof quarters have attracted both investors and hobbyists, further widening the collector base. Let's examine some of the most collectible categories and why they matter. First, the classic pre-1965 silver quarters are prized both for their metal value and numismatic desirability. Within that group, key dates like the early low mintage issues and certain wartime years with strike anomalies or shorter production runs draw intense interest. Next, commemorative program coins, bicentennial, state quarters. American women quarters are important because the variable designs allow for regional favorites, special varieties, and state-level oddities that create micro-markets within the broader series. Modern mint initiatives such as the release of quarters in special clad finishes or the occasional release of quarters with unique mint marks, like the West Point W modern circulation strikes, also generate immediate collector attention and can produce low-mintage modern keys that fetch premiums. Moving deeper into varieties, double dies are visible, dramatic errors where the design appears doubled because of a die misalignment, and collectors treasure these because the doubling is often easy to spot and dramatic. Repunched mint marks occur when mint personnel change or correct mint mark punches and the underlying mark shows through, creating a layered look that variety collectors love, while off-center strikes and broad strikes, where the collar fails to restrain the planchet and the coin spreads outward, create visually fascinating pieces that can be extremely valuable depending on the degree of displacement and whether the design elements remain partially intact. Over the decades, many such errors have been documented in auction catalogs and specialist publications, with values varying by severity and eye appeal. Practical collector advice is essential for anyone interested in Washington quarters. Always check the mint mark location, compare devices and lettering carefully. To spot double dies or repunched mint marks, look for unusual toning or unexpected metal color that could indicate an off-metal strike, and if you find a potential error, photograph it well and consider sending it to a reputable grading company for authentication. Proper provenance and certification often unlock the full market value of a rare piece. For those who prefer to collect by program or theme, the state quarters era remains one of the most popular collecting pathways because it invited regional engagement and produced many design varieties with popular themes such as state seals, historical scenes, and iconography, while the America the Beautiful series replaced that program with another set of beloved designs that highlighted national parks and historic sites and again offered modern-day rarities to pursue, and for many collectors the freedom to mix programs into thematic sets, for example, all quarters featuring trees, all quarters with animals, or all quarters that honor presidential homes, provides endless motivation and research opportunities. The secondary market for Washington quarters runs across coin shops, online auctions, registry set sales, and specialist auctions. Prices in dealer guides such as the Red Book or online price databases provide useful starting points, but actual auction results are where the market truly reveals itself. Because passionate bidders in live and online auctions will sometimes push prices far beyond book values when an attractive specimen or rare variety appears. Beyond the monetary aspects, the historical narratives behind certain quarters add emotional weight that can move collectors. Early Washington quarters symbolize the New Deal and Depression-era circulation patterns, and each surviving high-grade example is a survivor of much real-world use, while state quarters capture snapshots of American identity by state. And the America the Beautiful series ties collectors to physical places many have visited. In examining preservation and conservation, collectors should be mindful of proper storage to maintain a quarter's grade over time. Use inert holders, avoid PVC-containing flips that can cause surface damage, keep humidity and temperature stable, and if submission to a grading service is planned, ensure provenance and detailed photography accompany the submission to aid the graders and record the piece's history. For investors, diversification matters. While a single MS-67 1932 D may represent a concentrated but potentially high-reward bet, many collectors prefer building diversified sets of high-grade common dates, modern proof sets, and specialized error categories to balance risk and liquidity, because while key dates can sometimes take years to find the right buyer at the right price, well-known proof sets and certified modern rarities often have more frequent market activity. Educationally, the Washington Quarter Series is a superb teaching tool for numismatics classes and hobbyist clubs because it covers evolution of composition, changing artistic trends, mint technology, and even political and cultural commemoration practices, making it academically rich as well as collectible. And collectors who track population reports from grading services gain insight into how many examples exist at each grade level, which helps set realistic pricing expectations and collecting goals. Looking at modern developments, the Mint's decision to use the quarter as a platform for high-profile programs has ensured ongoing public interest and created a constant influx of new collectors, which in turn keeps demand steady for certain varieties and high grades, while the hobby's growing online communities and social media sharing facilitate discovery of rare finds and allow small discoveries to become headline stories rapidly. Finally, the Washington Quarter's cultural standing, bearing the portrait of George Washington and serving as a canvas for the nation's commemorative ambitions, ensures that even after nearly a century the coin retains both nostalgic and numismatic relevancy, and whether you are a beginner learning to identify mint marks and double dies or an advanced collector chasing registry-level gems, the quarter offers endless opportunities for discovery, education, and potential financial reward, so keep your eyes open when sorting change. Study the subtle design differences across mint years, learn how to read grading populations and auction records. And remember that while many quarters are ordinary, the series has produced extraordinary specimens that have captivated collectors and driven record prices at auction, demonstrating that the story of the Washington Quarter Dollar is far from finished and will continue to evolve as new discoveries and shifting collector tastes shape its market and its place in American numismatic history. In this continuation of the Washington Quarter Dollar Deep Dive, we explore the coin from a collector's perspective, diving into varieties, minting errors, and hidden gems that make this coin series one of the most exciting for numismatists. Because while the Washington Quarter may seem like an ordinary 25-cent piece used for decades in everyday transactions, its history and minting anomalies have produced a wide range of coins that can be worth far beyond face value. One of the most sought after categories is error coins, such as off-center strikes, double die obverse or reverse varieties, clipped planchets, transitional errors where a coin was struck on the wrong metal planchet, and even the famous 1932 D and 1932 S low mintage quarters, which are considered key dates in the series and command high premiums even in circulated condition. Collectors also prize proof issues struck in limited numbers for presentation and collecting purposes, particularly those made of silver, as they exhibit mirror-like fields and frosted devices that showcase the artistry of John Flanagan's original design. Over time, the Washington Quarter has gone through various design evolutions, from the original Eagle Reverse to the commemorative 50-state quarters program introduced in 1999 that ran until 2008, followed by the 2009 DC and U.S. Territory series, and then the America the Beautiful quarters from 2010 to 2021. Each series introduced new designs representing states, parks, and landmarks, making them highly collectible and widely appreciated not only in America but also internationally by coin enthusiasts. What makes these quarters even more fascinating is how small details can drive tremendous value differences. For instance, a simple doubling of lettering, a slightly misaligned die, or a rare mint mark positioning can turn a common quarter into a numismatic treasure worth thousands of dollars. The Washington Quarter has also proven to be a dynamic educational tool for younger collectors, inspiring many to begin coin collecting through the State Quarters program, which became one of the most successful coin initiatives in U.S. mint history. While most circulated Washington quarters hold their face value, uncirculated examples, silver issues, and unique mint errors can range from a few hundred to tens of thousands of dollars, with auction houses often showcasing these rare varieties as highlights in their sales. The most valuable Washington quarters are proof-like examples, pristine mint state issues, or those tied to historically significant moments in minting, making them both a financial investment and a piece of American heritage. So whether you're a new collector hoping to find a treasure in your pocket change, or an experienced numismatist building a high-grade set, the Washington Quarter Dollar remains a cornerstone of U.S. coin collecting, with a legacy stretching nearly a century and a market that continues to reward rarity, condition, and historical significance. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe for more detailed insights into rare and valuable coins, and stay tuned for our next video where we uncover even more hidden treasures in the world of numismatics.